Hi, it's Bruce Whipple. I want to talk to you today about something that isn't covered enough in acquisition training, but that makes a massive difference in whether or not you close deals, and that is your self-image. Whether you're speaking with a board candidate, a seller, a banker, a top-tier attorney, how you see yourself influences everything. How you speak, how they respond, and whether the interaction moves forward or whether it stalls out. So let's break this down. You are always being interviewed. Every interaction in this process is kind of an interview. People are sizing you up consciously or subconsciously. That's not to say that you shouldn't be interviewing these people as opposed to let them interviewing you, but understand they are also doing the same thing. So board members want to know, can I follow this person? Professionals want to know, is this someone who respects my expertise and leads with clarity? Sellers want to know, can this person really close? Can I trust this person? And lenders want to know, does this person believe in a deal and in themselves? And those are just some examples. If you're unsure of yourself, it bleeds into how you speak, how you stand, your tone of voice, and what you ask for. And people pick up on that almost instantly. Think about the interactions that you've had, and you have seen the same thing, I bet. So your self-image certainly sets the ceiling. And the reality is you cannot outperform your self-image. You'll always act in a manner consistent with how you see yourself, and I see that over and over again in those that succeed versus those that struggle in business acquisition. If deep down you don't believe you're the kind of person who deserves to sit across from business owners and negotiate millions in deals or lead a world-class team, then that belief is what shows up, not your business plan. And that becomes the ceiling for what you're willing to attempt and what others are willing to entrust with you. So, let's take a look at confidence versus arrogance, and there's a big difference. Let me be clear, this isn't about arrogance. It's about quiet confidence. You don't need to puff your chest out. You just need to walk into conversations as someone who knows where they're going and who they're leading. That's attractive, that builds trust, and that often closes deals. So people follow certainty, and it's really important to understand that. People follow those who are certain. If you're vague, uncertain, or even apologetic, and that certainly happens a lot, about your place at the table, don't expect others to hand you equity, financing, decision-making power, or their business. But when you lead with certainty about your vision, your plan, and your value, others lean into that, and they follow your lead, and doors begin to open, and you're going to see that as you improve. So how do you build self-image? How do you actually develop that process? Well, there's a few practical ways. One, keep your word to yourself. Self-trust builds self-respect. Prepare. Know your numbers. Know your strategy. Know your EDO, your exact desired outcome. And then surround yourself with a team that elevates you. Your board, your professionals. Choose people who raise the standard. And remember, you're not doing this alone. Think of yourself as the quarterback, and your job is to lead that team, not to play every position. So let me leave you with a quote from Psycho-Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz. And that is that we can't outperform our self-image. We will always act in a manner consistent with how we see ourselves. So here's your challenge for this week. Look in the mirror and ask yourself, how would the version of me who's already closed their first deal show up today? And if you can close your eyes and imagine that you've already closed your first deal, maybe even imagine that you have 20 deals closed, that's the version of the people that you want to do business with. So start showing up as that person, and the rest starts to fall into place. And I had a mentee who frequently was nervous, and before they met with a prospective seller, would sit in the car, close her eyes, and say, okay, how would I act if I had 60 of these? So remember that. Remember that that person, that's the version of the person that people want to do business with. So be that person. So I hope that helps. I hope that you understand in the beginning this will be a process. You will get better. You will become more confident. And as you do, almost always your success rate will improve. If you don't know how to do this process, go over to brucewhipple.com. The Acquisition Advantage Bootcamp 2025 edition is the best I've done to date. There's training each week. There's a module that you can listen to of the recordings, and you'll see templates. You'll understand how to do this. Follow those steps. That part of it's critical. Look forward to working with you, and I'd love to hear some feedback on how these things are working for you, whether these podcasts are on point and actionable for you, and what successes you're having as a result.